I just got done with LVLUP Expo. As you can see, I'm still in my hotel room in my cosplay. I literally just got done with the convention. And I figured I would talk. I'm fixing my wig because I haven't gone in a couple years, and this year I had the privilege of being a creator with the creator program, which I am super grateful for. It was amazing. I will also show you guys my badge collection. I really like that we are bringing this back to conventions. I'm gonna have to think of one to create because this is incredible. We had this idea earlier, Seven and I were talking about, where we do one. Was it for each character? Each day of the week?
Yes.
Yeah. So like a different one for each character for each day of the weekend. So I think Level Up in general is already one of my favorite conventions because it's just in a great location. I think when you put a convention in Vegas, it's automatically a bit more fun than most other conventions because the venues are usually amazing and there's places to stay, there's places to eat, there's lots to do. It's not like going to a convention in the middle of nowhere where it's just a convention center and 20 minutes between everything else. So there's even like the monorail here, which goes to the convention center station. So it started off with Thursday we went to badge pickup, and that went from 12 to 8, which was awesome because that gave us a lot of time to work with. And the line was really long for badge pickup, but it went really fast. So it was a long line, but not like an actually long line, if that makes sense. Oh, my cosplay's all messed up. Ugh. Anyways, that's fixed. I swear, guys, I'm an okay cosplayer some days.
She tries.
I try. That was really, like, not so bad. I think one of the only problems people were having, I can't fully speak on it, was there was a lot of ADA people that weren't really sure about where to go, and they were standing in the show services line for a really long time. And I think some signage could be used to help ADA people find their entrances, because it's probably really frustrating if you walk with like a cane or like you need assistance in some way to get into the convention center and you can't find where you need to go to enter the convention center. And I feel like other conventions I go to, like FanX Salt Lake, for example, they have a huge entrance that just like jumps out at you. Like, it's actually really hard to not accidentally almost go into the ADA area and be stopped, and they're like, hey, this is the ADA area, and you're like, oh, oops, because it's that obvious. So I feel like they do a really good job at that there, and I think Level Up Expo could probably do a little bit better with that. But it was all right. Plus the red entrance was on the other side of the convention center, and we took the monorail, so it just felt like a really long walk. But if you like take the loop or Uber in, then the red entrance is really easy to get to in the back. I don't know, they might switch it up next year. I'm not sure how it was the year previous since expanding. There was a small get together for Cosplay Contest people, and that was super fun because I got to know the other people, which starts the Cosplay Contest story. I have never been to a convention that kind of gave cosplayers a chance to get to know each other that were in the contest, if that makes sense. And it was really nice to actually get to know the people I'm competing with. I don't know, it was crazy because there's so many cosplayers from Utah who I compete with regularly, and like I should know them, but I don't know them at all because we just never interact with each other. At like when you're at a competition, you're usually sitting in the audience off to the side just looking at the stage together, and of course you're not gonna like talk in the middle of performances. That's really rude. So unless it's like a whisper sometimes, but like I've never actually gotten to know these people, and there are so many people from Utah that I actually got to know because they gave us the opportunity to like actually talk to each other, which was so nice. My coffee. The Friday was so freaking fun. So we had a bunch of panels on our list, but there was so much to do and see that we didn't do a single panel on Friday. And if you guys know me, I'm a huge panel person. I love going to panels. They are so fun. But we did not go to a single panel. Like, from getting to know the other contestants, we knew a few cosplayers already, which was super cool. I definitely like stopped to take some photos of my Robin cosplay that I crunched out, which was awesome. But there was so much to do in the convention center, like the vendor hall and exhibitor area. They had a really fun arrangement of video games out, and it was like a little bit of everything. Something that I hadn't seen at a convention ever, which was like The highlight of my whole convention, low-key, was, well, maybe my second highlight, but it was, they had the Love Live arcade machine, which I was so happy about. The game, like, got changed many years ago on the phone, and it's not the same thing anymore, so it was really, really nice to play that. And they also had a bunch of other rhythm games. It was pretty packed on the other 2 days, but I got the chance to play a bunch of them on Friday, which was so much fun. And I stopped by the One Piece cosplay meetup because I was in my Nico Robin cosplay, and that was also very fun. It was really well organized. Something else that Level Up did a great job at is they gave the organizers of cosplay gatherings, what are they called? Megaphones? Speakers? Seven, what are those called?
What?
The things that people talk out of like this to be louder.
Megaphones.
Megaphones. They gave them megaphones to, well, that plane is really low to the ground. They gave them megaphones to, like, hey guys, the cosplay gathering's over here, One Piece gathering, this is what's going on. And that was so cool because I've never seen a convention do that, and it's very necessary. There was food trucks the whole time too, so like food wasn't a problem. Something I would love to know why they did this, like, I'm just curious, but you had to scan in and scan out of the vendor hall, which I wonder if it was for like a data thing or something, but like you'd tap your badge to get in and out. So I'm kind of curious like why that was a thing, and I would like to know. I would like to know the reason. But it took a really long time to get anywhere because the vendor hall was like one big tube, and that tube had an escalator in the middle that led to another very long tube, and there was one in and one out, or one in out, the other in out, and two ends, right? But the thing is, a lot of other convention centers I've been into had like 10 to 20 points where you could go in and out. Like the Salt Palace does, the Javits Center in New York has this, where like you are not trapped in the vendor hall the entire time you're in the vendor hall, if that makes sense. Like you could pop out the sides. A few different options for exiting. So it did feel like I had to miss a couple things, or like I had to be late for something because it took a lot of time to get through the vendor hall. So that's not really a fault of Level Ups. That's like the convention center is just a difficult convention center to be around. The last time I went, it was very small. It was like half its size. And now that it's bigger, it's just longer. It's like, it's not, so it just made it a little difficult to get around when it was like really crowded. It would take us like 20 minutes to get from one end to the other, which was kind of a really long time. They had the official after party on Friday was at Area 15. I've never been to Area 15 in Vegas. It is so cool, guys. If you ever get the chance to go there, you should. Just like, not even for a party, just like go. It's really, really, really cool. We had sushi there at a place called Kaya, and then which was really fun. And then we went to the after party, and it was like they have like a giant party room in the back of Area 15, and the DJs were really good. It was really fun. The crowd had really, really good energy. It was a challenge to not be hungover the next day. And then Saturday, I was doing the cosplay contest basically all day. Okay, so I'm gonna chapter every part of this video, by the way, because I think this part right here is really important for cosplayers, because this will, I don't know, this changed my perspectives on how competitions are run a little, because it was so amazing. But at 9 a.m., by the way, cosplay contestants got to get in like an hour early every day. So if we needed to be there for prejudging, we could. If we needed to get to the feedback panel, we could. They gave us what we needed to go and get in, which a lot of competitions don't do. Like, you are just stuck in the line and you gotta wait it out, and you gotta be really strategic with your timing. But sometimes timing's a mess because cosplay's hard. It's not easy. It might look easy, but it's not. It's a very time consuming hobby. Like, I think just getting into this cosplay, which was like my easy Sunday cosplay, took like almost 2 hours. Like, and this wig I had spent an hour styling at home. Like, even then it's not my best wig, like it takes a lot of time. So having the special, like this little like cosplay contest thing on the badge was really nice, because I didn't have to stress out about like, no, I'm gonna miss prejudging because I have to like wait in the line, or like I don't know, I'm gonna miss the feedback thing, or I'm gonna miss whatever. But they did a rehearsal at 9 a.m. on Saturday before the competition. And like, you didn't have to be in your cosplay or anything, of course, like you could just go rehearse. And it was so nice, guys. It gave me such a peace of mind. It gave everyone else their peace of mind too, because I'd never done this at a convention either, but I've never performed. This was my first time ever performing at a con, and it was so well handled. Like, everyone had their stuff run through. Everyone could like work out the volume, the lights, whatever they needed to work out early in the morning, so then it was perfect later on. I think that was a massive stress reliever. Then I went back to the hotel and I got changed, got into cosplay, got back on the monorail, went back to the convention, and I did walk through the expo hall to go and get to my prejudging. But honestly, I was like, I don't think I'm going back into the expo hall. So I went to my prejudging, and by the way, the judges they picked were incredible. One of the judges, I followed her on social media for a very, very, very long time, and she was somebody that I like really respected, and the other two were so cool and amazing, and I'm really glad I got to meet them. They were all so qualified and amazing and so kind, and they gave me great feedback after the competition too. But the prejudging was really smooth. They had everything running really well, and it was cool because the hall contest also like had prejudging going like on the other side. So like if you couldn't do the main stage cosplay contest, or like if you didn't want to perform, you could go and do the hall cosplay contest, which is like they take a photo of your cosplay and they still judge it. I don't know if they have a feedback panel. I'm imagining maybe they do. But like they still judge it, they look through it, like you make a build book, like it's still a cosplay contest. It's just not a performance cosplay contest. Unlike in main stage, it's 50% craftsmanship and 50% performance. And I really liked having that divide, because a lot of local conventions I do, you can do craftsmanship or performance, or you can do craftsmanship and performance. But then it like turns into a longer contest because of that. And I think doing the hall contest separate is really nice, because then you could have separate judges that are just focused on craftsmanship too. But then having a main stage cosplay contest allows you to have judges who are both performance and craftsmanship oriented on the panel versus just craftsmanship judging. And I just think it's a lot easier to pull off, and I think it worked really, really well. We got to rehearse and then do prejudging, and then I literally just sat around for like 3 hours. I ate food, I did whatever, because I didn't want to go back into the vendor hall. I had a really delicate sword, and guys, I don't know what happened to etiquette, but people were all bumping into everything. I had these little wings on today, and I would walk sideways to not run into people. People just walk in to like the wings and stuff, and like I think there was 2 cosplayers in the contest who had props broken, like just walking around, and I had people that weren't in the contest that I know that had props broken. So I don't know, it might just be a general convention thing that's changed recently, but like I don't feel like people used to run into each other as much, but people have gotten very comfy running into each other, and that was scary. So I just didn't go back into the vendor hall because I didn't want my sword breaking before my performance, because that is my performance. So that was really important to me. So I literally just sat upstairs for like 3 hours not doing anything, but I did get to know the other contestants, and that was super fun, and they were super cool people. So then, this is where the cosplay contest gets really good, guys. This is why I was like, if you're a cosplay person, you should definitely pay attention to this part, because I think all contests need to be this way, in my opinion, in my non-expert opinion. But there was a green room, right? But the green room wasn't a dark backstage green room. They had a TV in there for us to watch the main stage cosplay contest going on, and while it was going on, we all sat back there, and they had like people all throughout the hall. So they'd call us one at a time up to the stage area, but there would be like, trying to think of how to explain this, in front of us, like I could see down like a super long hall, like 4 people with 4 cosplayers. So you were in a very spaced out line basically, and one at a time they would just kind of ping pong you to the next person until you were at the main stage. And I think I really liked it. It was very well organized, and it was nice too because everyone was like very friendly. Like the staff working at LVLUP Expo were some of the kindest con staff I have ever met. Like, they were, like, even if they felt miserable, which I don't know if they felt miserable because they were so nice, I wouldn't know if they were miserable. They seemed to be having fun with it, which was really cool. I don't know why in the past, like, whenever I go to Anime New York City, I feel like the volunteers and staff tend to be a little crankier, or like a lot of other places, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it, I'll get out of your way. But they were really nice here, and I really felt like if I needed help with something that they could like help me with it, and that was really nice to have. And also, like, some of the people helping with the green room and all of that, people were very like, hey, if you need someone to talk to, we're here. Like, it was a really good environment. And having the green room separate from the main stage, I'm a very like nervous person. Like, mentally I sometimes feel like a hamster who just wants to like scream and run off, and having the green room separate made it feel calmer, if that makes sense, because you weren't watching every single person walk up on stage before you and like getting worked up. You were all in a well-lit room, laughing with other cosplayers, goofing off, making a TikTok occasionally, and like relaxing. You know what I mean? And then somebody would call your number and you would just walk up and get ping-ponged around until you were on stage, and like you couldn't see the stage or anything. And I don't know why, for some reason that just like was really relaxing and the best like contest experience I've ever had. Like, I've competed in a really, really big convention once that just had us in a concrete hall for like 2 hours. Like, no chairs even. They couldn't even bother with chairs. Like, there was chairs stacked up. And like, you always get so scared about having that experience. Or like, I don't know, it's just not very accommodating. Like, so, like in that really big contest I was referring to, like, I remember, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have like a hand player there, like holding water and stuff, you know? And it's just not always the friendliest environment. Like, you're already doing a competition, which is kind of scary. And then to do that on top of it can be like, I don't know, if it's just not a welcoming or kind environment, it really sucks. So I really enjoyed how they did it. Like, thoroughly enjoyed how they did it. It was so organized. Like, that's my favorite competition ever. Also, it was a hard competition. There was a lot of people. Like, I think the criteria required you to be like, to have more wins to be master, or I didn't really understand it, but I didn't apply for master, I applied for journeyman, so I never read the master criteria because I know I'm not near that level yet. And there's a lot of people in Utah that I know compete as masters that competed in journeyman there, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is really hard, this is gonna be difficult. I got really intimidated when I saw them on the list as like journeyman, because I was like, oh, I just got out of novice. Like, I'm still like, this is like my 3rd journeyman competition, I think. So I was like so scared, and it actually went well though. Like, it's good to be challenged too, because that like green room environment and stuff too, like I could talk to those people and learn a ton from them. And like, I have like a little list on my phone of advice I learned from those people in the green room. And like, that type of stuff is gold. That's like why I love competitions, is because I could be like, how did you get this hat to stay on your cosplay? And somebody will be like, I use this type of magnet which has little holes in it, and here's where I got it on Amazon, and here's how you could do it. And I was like, this is genius, this is amazing. I would have never figured this out on my own. So that was really cool, and it was the best contest experience I've ever had. And I really, really loved that environment that they created for the cosplayers. And like, even the feedback panel the next morning was really well run, and it went pretty quick, and it was kind of like the same time as prejudging. Everything went smooth, everyone was kind. I got some really good pointers from judges. On my L cosplay, some things that the judges pointed out were they liked my petals on my sword. In the main vlog, I added the video of my stage performance. I think LVLUP is putting up the cosplay competition at some point on YouTube, or whoever filmed it is, from what I heard, allegedly. So I was told the portioning on my shirt could be better, to thin out more of my bangs on my wigs, which I agree with very much, to color balance my golds more, and to add a little bit more weathering everywhere. So those are some things I could work on, and I'm really excited to work on. But Sunday was so fun. Today's Sunday, so I'm saying it in the past tense, but it's today. Today is Sunday. I just got back. My voice is very tired. I'll tell you why. But we got to explore finally the rest of the exhibit hall that we didn't get to explore previously because I wasn't wearing something I was scared of breaking. I don't know why I like didn't buy any art. I think it was because I don't know, there was no particular reason. I just didn't like, I guess I just didn't feel like buying anything, or there's nothing that like called out to me enough this time, which happens at some conventions. And there's some conventions I go to where I just have to buy something like every other stall. I don't know, it just was like not the vibe for me, I guess. But they had a lot of really great exhibitors there. Like Netflix was there, Crunchyroll was there, Glitch, who produces Has-Been Hotel?
That's Busy Pop.
Yeah, the Vizzy Pop, because it has been and Hell of a Boss.
They had Glitch.
Glitch, yeah. They had a bunch of really cool stands. They had like so many really, really cool vendors there and exhibitors. I remember when I was here like a couple years ago, I did not see them here. Like, this convention has grown immensely to have that level of like exhibitors here. And that was so cool to see. They had a really cool figurine of Juna at Crunchyroll, but I didn't want to spend $200 on it. I have this thing where I try to buy a figurine of my character that I'm cosplaying at conventions. So I either wanted a Nico, Marine, or Mael, you know, the one I worked on for 3 months, or Mael figure, but I never like found them. So I found Nico Robin figures, but not of the outfit that I was doing, that like Miss Alt Sunday one. So, you know, it was what it was. I'm probably gonna order one because that's like kind of what I do to like remember making cosplays. It might sound silly. I love to do that though. So yeah, they had a lot of amazing vendors and exhibitors. And then for panels, like I said, we didn't get to like go to a ton of panels because Friday there was so much to explore and do and see. And then Saturday I was doing competition stuff all day. Sunday, today, we went to an Epic the Musical sing-along. Have you ever been to a convention sing-along? It is one of the most fun things I think I've ever done. I didn't even know that sing-alongs were a thing. Hell, if I don't see one on the schedule at my next local convention, I'll try to get some more charismatic people than myself to host them. Like, that was so fun. I loved that. I felt like a theater kid all over again, and it was really nice. It was really, really, really nice. So I also didn't know that Epic the Musical had such a big following. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, it's gotten big enough online, but like I was really into it when like the first song got released on TikTok many, many years ago in the ancient times, the trenches, and like, oh, it's just come such a long way. And it was so cool to see so many people interested in the same thing. And I'm like, oh, I gotta do like something from Epic as a cosplay too, because I didn't know there's so many people interested. So that was like, oh, it was so cool. It was really, really, really cool to experience that. There was a part 1 and a part 2. We only could get to the part 2 because I was at cosplay feedback during part 1. But it was a full room. And there was also, I think, a Has-Been sing-along. I'll read you guys some of the things that I did have on my list that I'd wanted to go to for this weekend, but then I just didn't find the time for. So you can kind of get a sampling of panels, at least the ones that I have curated that I had wanted to go to. Heartthrobs and Psychosis, the fictional characters who ruined us. Final Fantasy Music Challenge, Digital Circus, Journey to the Last Act, Meet the Voices of Dispatch, The Ultimate Character Smasher Pass, 18 up. The Dumbest Show presents Drag Up Your Fandom. Oh man, that actually sounds really fun. Welcome to Park Planet, Chat with the Knights of Guinevere cast. I really wanted to go to all of these. These all sound really fun, but I was running out of time. There's so much fun stuff to do, guys.
Really, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yes, I should have mentioned that. At the cosplay competition Saturday, they freaking went so hard. I don't know if it was the large crowd or what, but they're normally really good, okay? I have to clarify that. It's not like they were particularly good when they're usually bad. They're always really good, but they were really good tonight. Like, they were like, I don't know what it was, or like last night, they were like going so hard, and they had a bunch of new songs and choreography, and it was really good. Otaku Dreams Maid Cafe is really, really cool. If you're not familiar with them, they're like, I know they're at every single Utah event. I think they are Utah based. And then they come to events out here too. There's like a group of people who I feel like runs a lot of things out here, and they just all stay together. but I've seen them around at like several conventions, so they're kind of everywhere all at once. They're really cool. Then what else did I have here? Oh yes, I almost forgot. Seven did something really funny. So the Critical Role yeah, you know where I'm going with this. The Critical Role cast was in the room chilling out next to where the cosplay contestants were doing their prejudging and their feedback. Thank you very much. And it was funny because on the first day, the prejudging day, I was sitting in the chairs and watched the whole Critical Role cast go by into the elevators, and I was just being like perfectly normal about it. And they also did dispatch, and I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna weird them out. But then Sunday, today, we were at the feedback panel, and we're all sitting on the floor outside the feedback panel room waiting to go inside the feedback panel, and they walked by, and then they walked by again, and Matt Mercer walked by, and Seven goes, "I love your Matt Mercer cosplay," to Matt Mercer. And he gave us a laugh. He gave us the laugh. It was a good sense of humor. That was really funny. So we have now had an interaction with Matt Mercer, and that was pretty freaking cool.
He's a great guy.
He's such an icon.
He's just a great guy.
He is a great guy. So that was really cool. Just a very wholesome, random, like, encounter. Also, those two guys in the cast, who was it, Travis? I forgot the other guy's name.
Travis and Liam.
They're huge! Did you guys know they're giants? It was crazy! Like, oh my gosh. Anyways, that was super cool. I'm not really like someone who will pay for like celebrity signatures and stuff. So that was like the closest thing I get to that. I just don't have the energy to wait in line for hours for signing a poster. Some people do. That's really, really cool. I just don't have the energy for that. But yeah, that was really fun. Food like all over the convention center. They have like a little mini Papa John's. They have like a mini Johnny Rocket. They have all these random like one-off businesses. It's really nice. It's really convenient. But they had a quest thing going, and that was so fun. But we didn't really have a ton of time to do it. But for every quest you completed, you could check off a box of the quests and then get a victory for one or the other. And the one that I got was rule number 1 of the secret dice game. Don't talk about the secret dice game. Find one of the giant dice stickers and bring back a photo to prove to the quest giver that you now know about the secret dice game. I never saw a giant dice sticker. We like kind of looked everywhere because Seven had the same quest as me, and we like never found one. So we like asked around too a little bit at like the D&D style booths. But this is what it looked like, and that was honestly really fun. There was a lot of people doing it. I think on Friday there was something about a cowboy hat or something like that for one of the quests, because people kept stopping me and being like, hey, this is for a quest, when I was in my Nico Robin like Miss All Sunday cosplay. And that was really fun. And I love when conventions do stuff like that, because it kind of gives you like, it gives walking around Artist Alley and the vendor hall a little bit more of a soul, if that makes sense. Like you're not like aimlessly just wandering, and it makes it so fun. It's like a little game. So yeah, they did a really great job on the convention, and it is still one of my favorite conventions ever. Like it was so much fun. Getting out of cosplay right now, but I just remembered I got a Judge's Choice Award at the competition too, and I thought I'd talk about that because I haven't won an award since becoming a journeyman. It's been very, very hard. And look at this! So I hope to go next year, or at least go to another convention outside of Utah, because I feel like I like Utah conventions, but I remember why I love cosplay and the community as much as I do when I leave Utah. I don't think I have beef with Utah. I think that Utah conventions just tend to have a different like culture, if that makes sense. Like FanX really loves Disney and Star Wars and 90s TV shows, and like I'm more of an anime and RPG games type of girl. So it was really nice to like go into the culture that I like more and remember like why I love everything as much as I do. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!